Hey there, my wonderful friends. I'm so happy to be back with you here on the channel, made by hand, coming at you once again with your girl Lena. And today I'm gonna show you a really quick little DIY modification, a tiny little transformation on this sweater that I'm wearing right now. I actually put it on specifically for you, just so I could show you on myself instead of just on the mannequin. I mean, I do have the mannequin, obviously, but I really wanted to show you on a real person. So this sweater, it's actually pretty oversized, pretty big if I'm being completely honest here. And it doesn't look terrible or anything like that. But for putting together my outfit and my looks, I really needed to be a bit shorter. So I decided I'm going to transform it today. I'm going to show you how to do it. It's actually super easy. And here's the best part. You can do this without any extra cost at all. So what I want you to do is go through your closets, pull out those things that maybe don't fit quite right or that you've been wanting to change up. And let's see what you can work with. See what actually works for you, what you want to do with it, and then just go for it. Take action. So what I'm thinking is, I want this part right here to be a little bit shorter, so it doesn't just cover everything down to my hip zone, but I also don't want it to be too short. So I decided I want to shorten it from the front side. Let me show you exactly how I'm gonna do this. So here's this little cardigan or lightweight sweater. I showed it to you on myself earlier. It's really cute, actually, really pleasant to the touch. It's got this natural feel to it. It's kind of an acrylic and cotton blend. Yeah, pretty much just that. And it's super nice and soft, feels really good against your skin. It's really cute. Now look at this. It has these little buttons going down the side here, kind of an open front style with these decorative button accents. It's got a nice slit on the side, and it's actually pretty long. So what I want to do, my friends, is make the front part a little bit shorter, actually quite a bit shorter. I'm going to cut one section right here from the front, and then I'm going to use that piece to create like a little ruffle or flounce effect on the front, and that way it'll be so much shorter. Something like that. So technically, how I'm going to do this, let me show you step by step. First, I'm going to mark the spot where I want this ruffle to be sewn in, basically from button to button, let's say right here. And also over here. It's a little hard to see, but hopefully when I draw the line, it'll be easier to follow along. So here's my plan. My goal length for this sweater will be up to this line right here that I'm about to draw. The thing is, I'm going to keep this ruffle that already exists on the front, and I'm going to sew it onto this new cutting line. So basically, I'm making a mark at the center point, 52 total, so that's 26 cm right here. Yep, right at the middle. Now I'm taking this Tailor's chalk. It's really hard to see, but bear with me here. And I'm going to transfer this center point down to where I want the ruffle to start. Now here's the tricky part. To create this nice little gather effect, what I need to do is cut out the center section, cut it right out, and then sew it back on, but in a way that creates this ruffle. So basically, I'm gonna show you what I mean, but honestly, I don't know if I'm explaining this very well. I've never actually made a tutorial on this before. I think it might be better if you just watch me do it, then it'll make more sense. Sometimes it's better to just see someone do it rather than hear them try to explain it. Okay, so I've cut out the top section, and now I'm using this white Tailor's chalk that I found, and I'm marking right here where I need to cut, and we're just gonna repeat the process. Cut it out. You know what? We shouldn't be afraid of cutting. I mean, what's there to be afraid of, right? If something doesn't turn out the way you want, you can always modify it again or use the fabric for something else. That's the beautiful thing about sewing and crafting. You can always repurpose things, so never be afraid to cut into your fabric. Just go for it with a smile. I always say that. And look, I got these little curvy lines here, kind of like a little smile or little lips that came out. Well, now I think it'll be more clear what I'm trying to do. So this center section that I've marked right here, if I fold it over to this spot, and as you can see, now the bottom part is longer, and that's exactly what I want, because what I'm gonna do is gather this fabric however I like it and then sew it on the machine. Let me show you. So I'm pinning it in place. I put 3 gathers on this side and 3 gathers on this side too. And over here, I just connected the 2 edges together. Now it's time to head to the machine and sew this all up. Okay, so here we are at the sewing machine and we're gonna sew these 2 pieces together. I'm gonna use a zigzag stitch. We might have to go over it one more time, but I think a zigzag is actually better in this case because it allows the fabric to stretch and move. And since this sweater is made of this stretchy knit material, a zigzag is definitely the way to go. So we're setting up the zigzag stitch and I'm going to guide the fabric through carefully, making sure all these gathers and pleats are laying nice and flat. And we're just going to go for it. There are no impossible things, you know. I always say that whenever someone asks me if I know how to do something, I tell them, I don't know because I haven't tried it yet. But once I try it, then I can say I know how to do it because I just did it. And as long as we haven't started, as long as we haven't tried, how can we possibly know if we can do it, right? Honestly, I never thought I'd be sewing things like this. When I was younger, I was experimenting with clothes and modifications. I remember I took one of my dad's shirts, cut it all up into little pieces, and then I took a tie and made these little appliques on that shirt. I still remember that. But I never had any formal tailoring skills or anything like that. It's just that I always liked to stand out, to be different. And that's why I kept trying new things. So today I'm just using the skills that I picked up along the way through life experience, basically not from any school or anything like that. So if you want to do something, you just have to start. You have to try. Otherwise, you'll never know if you can do it. All right, so we're going over the zigzag one more time because we want it to be nice and secure. And now let's take a look and see how it turned out from the back side. And oh my goodness, look at that. It's beautiful. This is exactly what I wanted. This is exactly what I wanted. This is exactly what I was going for. Let me just spread it out and show you what it looks like right now. So I just connected it to this side as well. You can kind of see it right here and right here. And now the front is going to be shorter. Let me show you the whole thing and how it looks on. Oh, this looks so much better now when I style it with these kinds of looks. But it's really good. I promise you, by the way, this is actually super affordable. You know, I think I paid maybe like 20 ZR stroke, which is like $5 or something like that. And I use it pretty often, like right away, just as it is. The sleeves are fine, but I also made some modifications, you know. I've been collecting all these little thread scraps too, and I ended up making this little scrunchie out of some of the fabric. I put it all together, and I think everything turned out really good. So now let me iron it, press it down nice and flat. And there we go, goal accomplished. I've successfully shortened this sweater in the front, like I said I would, and I left the back completely untouched, no changes there at all. The whole point was to make the front shorter, so that when I'm wearing high-waisted pants or jeans or whatever, when I'm putting together outfits, you can see more of the top, you know. The front is way more visible now. And in one of my other videos, I'll show you how I did an applique design on this same look. And I added some jewelry to complete the outfit. Let me show you up close. So this jewelry is made from polymer clay, just like I always say I do. And I wanted to show you these pants too, like I mentioned earlier. For this outfit, I used pants that I made, and these are those appliques that I cut out. And I used these decorative strips and panels that I cut from the pants. I definitely recommend doing this because I'm sure you all have old pants somewhere in your closet that maybe don't fit anymore or that you grew out of. And unfortunately, we all change, right? And then you find these pants that just don't work anymore, but you can totally repurpose those panels. You cut out the seams, take apart the pants, and then you can insert those panels into other garments, you know, like the waistband area or wherever you want. If it's jeans, you use the denim panels. If not, you can use any fabric that you like. I use leggings with a really cute pattern, kind of these feminine faces and figures, and I use them to create these little appliques right here. And I think they look really, really good. It might look a little weird from the back, but I don't know, I think it looks cute. I've shown these appliques in my other videos too, like how I cut them out, how I fold them over, and then I stitch them down about 2 millimeters from the edge on the sewing machine to attach them wherever you want them, and it looks super cool. So this is something that you can totally do to repurpose your old pants that you've outgrown. Well, I wish you all the best of luck with your projects. There are so many cool things you can make. I definitely you to stick around. I'm sure I'll come up with something else interesting to show you and share all my ideas with you. Bye for now.